Last time on Minecraft, but it's the first time I beat the game. Mining. Lots and lots of mining and lag, but mostly mining. And a decent enough scene at the end where I was in the nether and there's a lot of enemies. I guess onto the video. So what is the first thing I do after waking up again? Well, it begins with M and ends with farming. Yeah, I got some bone meal and started the day by getting some wheat and creating what might be the first piece of bread that farm ever produced. I could be wrong about that one, but I think it might be the first. After the farming, I'd go on a fish hunt, like a really big fish hunt. Like a fish hunt so big I almost died because of it. But hey, we got enough fish to last us a few more days, so I'll take it. So I mined some coal in order because of how much fish I need to cook, but after enough of the fish cook, I decide that I'm going back to the nether because, well, now I have food. So when I get there, I realize how dangerous it is just kind of spawning into the open nether every time I use the nether portal. So I create a little safe house around the nether portal. It's a bit crude and unorthodox, but as long as it works, I honestly don't really care. So after the safe house was good and done, I immediately changed my mind about going to the Nether because, well, I don't really know why. I just kind of ran around for a little bit. I don't really know what I was doing, but I guess I'll check back in when I figure out what exactly it is I'm doing. Okay, well, I swam around, looted a boat, almost got lost. Well, actually, I did get lost, just not for very long. And now I'm going back to the Nether. Uh, don't know what that little incursion was about, but okay, guess we're moving on. This time going into the Nether, my objective is as clear as day to me. I need to find another fortress. After all, there aren't exactly wild blazes just roaming about, which, I mean, is kind of weird when you think about the fact that they're the only mob in the entire game that requires a spawner to spawn, which very weird. Actually, wait, maybe there's a few that I'm missing or just not remembering that require a spawner. Oh well, whatever. Anyways, as you're gonna see, it takes us a little while to find it. Anyways, as I keep moving from place to place, I discover a lot of things, with the exception of a nether fortress, which is, well, a problem, so eventually I just decide to mine in a random direction and hope for the best. And after a lot of exploring in said random direction, I just kind of end up back where I started. So, that was rather disappointing. Then, as all hope seemed lost in my quest for another fortress, I decided that it was second time's the charm, and I needed one last hurrah into a random direction. And once in said random direction, I look and I mine, and eventually I find it. And oh boy, do I wish I was recording my mic at the time. Yes, finally, finally it's been like an hour. Jesus, I can't believe it took that long. Alright, okay. And there's lava. Okay. So yeah, I found another fortress. I had to clear out like half of it because it was encrusted inside the ceiling. But yeah, I found it. Oh, I also found some diamonds in the chest in the fortress. But after that, I had a problem. That problem being that I couldn't find the blazes. But I could hear them, which led me to just mining around the entire fortress, just trying to find them. And I just kind of couldn't until this happened. Yeah, they they just kind of popped up into my mind. I don't know where they came from, but they did sort of make a trail for me just by kind of appearing in an order. So I just kind of followed the blazes till I found their spawner. That was difficult, I guess. When I get to the spawner, at first I charge straight in, but soon I realize I can't really take this fight head on, so I barricade myself into the ceiling, and surprisingly enough it works. So there's that. Then, in order to secure a kill on a particularly hard to hit blaze, I drop down and hit him. But as soon as I do that, a small army of blazes spawn behind me, so I quickly retreat. I attempt to charge straight in again, but swiftly get denied. I don't really know what I was thinking there. But after I dig straight up and I manage to find my original place on the ceiling, I managed to get a few good hits in. So I do those hit and run attacks again and again until I only need a few more blaze rods in order to beat the game. And a few other things like making potions, but mostly to beat the game. However, for some reason, the blazes at this blaze spawner just kind of, stopped spawning. And so, I have to go to the other blaze spawner just around the corner. However, I kind of been avoiding it because, there seems to be a lot more blazes at this particular blaze spawner. However, with some faith and some good luck, I decided to try it out and test and use the strategy I'd been using at the other blaze spawner with this one. But when I went up into the ceiling, I got kind of an odd angle, so I thought there was a lot less blazes than there actually were. So, thinking there was only a couple blazes, I dropped down and, immediately got attacked on all sides. So I quickly run away. However, once I was away from them, I realized that my supply of food was down to essentially only 2 raw pork chops. Yeah. Undaunted, I move forward with my secret weapon, the golden apple. And with it in one hand, I eat it and quickly drop down and start tagging the blazes. And, it goes decently enough, and so with the final attack I managed to get more than enough blaze rods, and quickly run away. Bravely, of course. Well, I did just kind of attack them, so of course it was bravely. With the blaze rods collected, I make my way back to the nether portal. It goes smoothly enough, except for this ghast. It for some reason didn't die when I hit this reflect. But whatever, it went smoothly and I made it back safely, so I guess that's okay. Once back home and in safety, I got some food. I was starving. Well, not quite starving, but close to it. And then, after eating, I make a decision. And that decision is to make a diamond chest plate. After all, with the new diamonds, 2 new diamonds I got from the nether fortress, I had enough. However, I won't be using it right now. I'm saving it for a special fight. After all that, I start digging sand. Why? Well, I'm gonna make a brewing stand and make some potions, and in order to make some potions, I'm gonna need some glass bottles. So there's that. I started off the whole brewing thing by making some strength potions, and from there I just kind of experimented. Glow dust, gunpowder. I spent half an hour looking for some redstone because apparently I didn't have any, but I guess it was worth it in the end. I even made a melon farm in order to get healing potions. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I got the seeds from when I was getting redstone, dungeons and all that. Throughout my experimentation with potions, I started hunting endermen, and I managed to get 2 ender pearls. So I decided to also get 16 blocks of obsidian, because I'm going to create 2 ender chests, in order to more effectively get supplies from one area to another when I eventually try to find the stronghold and go to the end. From there, I create another wart farm, but I'm gonna need more than potions in order to beat the ender dragon, so I'm gonna need some enchantments. In order to get the good enchantments, I'm going to need bookshelves, and I've long since run out of horses on the island. So I set my eyes to the mainland, and I swim, and I get there. And while I'm there, I get leather, and beef, and I also get chased by some angry bees. That's what I imagine Twitter must be like. Oh, I also find a big hole in the ground. You should probably remember that. It comes up once or twice later on. So after that, I hunt endermen. I make potions. I craft some bookshelves. I enchant. I mine quartz in order to refill my experience to enchant again. Overall, I get into a bit of a rhythm. Same thing over and over again. However, as time goes on, my resources begin to deplete. And I also remember the big hole I saw on the ground when I was at the mainland. So, I decide to make the wise decision and return to it to get more resources. And once I get there, it is labyrinthian. And also mostly underwater, so, kind of difficult there. But once I'm inside, I find many riches, like 4 diamonds, which I use to create diamond boots. In fact, I have ambitions of enchanting the diamond boots to feather falling 3, and I mean, I actually managed to do it. Once I repositioned my bookshelves, they weren't exactly doing much when they were right there. But I'm not going to use the diamond boots right now. I'm going to save it for later, like the chest plate. So, as I mentioned throughout the video, I have been hunting Endermen for Ender Pearls, but as this process has gone on, I've realized how dangerous, time intensive it is, and overall, it's only gotten me a few Ender Pearls. So, with that in mind, I'd try a different method, trading with the pigmen. My attempts to trade with them gets out to a bit of a rocky start, because first off, it takes me a little while to pin a pigman in. So then, after I finally get him in, I only have 10 gold pieces, so I run out before I get any pearls. Then I go to get some more gold, which is its own little difficult adventure. But by the time I get back, the pigman has despawned. With even more difficulty than last time, I managed to pin another pigman and then continue on with my trading, well, for the time being. Despite further trading, I don't get any pearls. So, I leave to get more gold, however this time, I'm going to get it from the overworld. And after a decent amount of mining, I managed to get 20 pieces. Feeling confident about my newfound wealth, I return to the nether to trade, and... Wait a second. I go 20 blocks and the last guy disappears, but when I cross literal dimensions, this guy is still here? Alright, I guess. I mean, I'm grateful he's still here, at least. And with this round of trading, I actually do manage to get some Ender Pearls. And with that, it's confirmed to me that trading is far superior to Enderman hunting. From there, I continue to just go in that pattern. Get gold through either mining in the nether or the overworld, either one. Then trade. Sometimes it goes better, sometimes it goes worse. But over the course of some time, it does give me some pearls. So overall, not that bad. Oh, also, I enchanted my bow with infinity. I don't remember when that happens, but I just need you to remember that because it's important. Like, seriously, remember that. Aside from that, though, I did manage to trade enough to get 14 Ender Pearls, which to me seems like a good enough number to get to the stronghold. Oh, also, I got more diamonds and made a diamond helmet. Don't remember where I got the diamonds for that. Probably wasn't interesting, though. Probably, anyways. So now, with enough Ender Pearls to fill out the portal frames, I start making preparations for my fight with the Ender Icon. Not that I wasn't before, but now I'm doing extra stuff, like organizing my inventory and stocking my Ender chest full of backup supplies in case I die. After everything's organized, well, there's nothing really left to do except to, well, find and kill the dragon, so off we go. I drove far and wide during my trip. In fact, I drove so far and wide I had to make little rest stops. Also, although I try my best to conserve them, 2 Eyes of Ender break. Unfortunate, but it was not in vain, since they led me to an island, then a second island, but then when I got to the second island, it pointed me back to the first island. Finally, a general location. In between these 2 islands rests the stronghold. I searched time and time again, all around the area the Eyes of Ender led me to, but I can't find anything, and so eventually I get desperate and throw yet another Eye of Ender, despite me only having 12 left. Unfortunately, it breaks. It saddens me, but I comfort myself with the knowledge that it's probable that at least one of the portal frames has already have an Eye of Ender in it, and besides, that last thrown Eye of Ender has led me to a new location. I must have gotten something wrong with the other 2. So with that in mind, I continue forth, and I search and search, and I don't find it. But then, randomly, I do find it. Yeah, I know it's suspicious, but I swear I just kind of randomly mined into a wall. But whatever, suspicions aside, once I was in, it did in fact take me a little while to find the inn portal, but I did eventually find it, so with relief I put down my ender chest and make the entire room a little safe house. Then realization struck. I look at the end portal and realize that none of the portal frames have been filled in. I am missing one. Listen, I know I shouldn't have relied upon there being one filled in, but like, I was desperate at the time of using that last Eye of Ender, okay? Whatever. A little bit more than just a little disappointed, I mine upwards and start my trek back home in order to get another Eye of Ender. So after traveling quite a bit of distance, I run into a temple thingy and apparently just close enough to get the mining fatigue. But whatever, it's only mining fatigue, it shouldn't affect me that much. Oh, wait a second. There's another portal thingy over there. I go to investigate, and inside the chest there's 2 gold blocks. However, there's also a third in the ground. I suppose the more the merrier. I go to mine it, but wait a second. No, I don't mine it because the mining fatigue I literally just got is starting to play a part. But I have a plan. I'm going to get some milk, and then I should be able to mine it, which will allow me to trade for more ender pearls. But first I have to actually go get the milk. I quickly get to shore, and in the quickly darkening sky, I rush forward and eventually find a cow, of which I milk, then drink the milk. Then mobs start spawning, so I quickly run backwards. I quickly mine the gold block, and with that, it brings my gold pistol to 27, so surely this'll be enough to get some ender pearls. And, for once, things go my way, because when I get back to the home and the nether, I actually managed to get ender pearls on the second try. I suppose that third gold block wasn't entirely necessary. Although after that I do spend some time getting some food, I do try to get back to the nether portal as quickly as possible. And get back to the end portal I do, because now I'm here and it's kinda time to end this. So I armor up in my almost full set of diamond armor, and armed with an iron axe and infinity bow. So I put the final Eye of Ender into the portal, and I step in, ready for anything. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a bit nervous going into this. But just because I was nervous didn't mean I was gonna fail now. So I bridged over to the island and quickly started to dig up into the island. As I got into the island proper, I actually managed to start sniping some of the towers. Yeah, I know it's not like the best ever, but honestly to me I'm just surprised I managed to get anything with the bow at all. Although the towers don't seem to be much trouble, I am getting some unwanted attention from the Endermen. But all in all, they're only a little annoying, because I do manage to deal with most of them. But while I was running about destroying the towers, this happened. That moment did kind of set the stage for the rest of the fight. I mean, look at it. Sure, maybe the water did have some slight effect on me to slow me down, but that didn't stop the rest of the falls during the fight from only doing a few hearts of damage. And that's kind of disappointing. I mean, I thought this was going to be a really intense fight, and yet it's kind of easy. I don't mean that in a I'm good kind of way. I'm terrible. And that's kind of the point. I am terrible, and yet despite that, once I realized what does what damage, I never felt as though I was going to die, and that's proven in me, well, winning. And that kind of sucks, since I expected a hard-won fight, whether I win or lose. But despite that, instead, I got a drawn-out fight, where I was just kind of waiting for me to win. No, well, maybe what lies beyond this is the true prize. Nope! Never mind, it's just a glorified philosophy lesson. Alright, join me next Friday if you want to see me stretch a 30-minute tech demo into a 10-minute video. Otherwise, this was just disappointing.